You looking to make some extra cash? Well, me too. Maybe you've thought about the gig economy as like an easy way to get into a side hustle. And if you've thought about that, you're probably considering DoorDash, but maybe you haven't tried it yet. Well, I'm your guinea pig. Turn to the nerds. I'm gonna give DoorDash delivery a test drive today and see if it's worth it. All right, so for this test, I'll consider time spent driving, miles driven, and of course, earnings. And as the kids say, let's go. Okay, glasses are on, I'm looking cool. I just got my first delivery, which is exciting because I've been looking at the Dasher app. That's the app you use as a DoorDash delivery driver for a couple days. And my area doesn't get a lot of action. I live in kind of a smaller town. But today, it's Monday. It's about 11:20 a.m. and it's popping. And I just got my first order. It's a pizza joint. I think I got to pick up some cheesesteaks. It says I'll make $7 or more. So I'm excited to get this first delivery under my belt and give it a try. All right, I just picked up the order. I am headed just a couple miles away to deliver it. Seems easy so far. Okay, so my first DoorDash delivery is done. It was $9 in my pocket. All right, I'll say to that. It was pretty simple. I took a food order about 3 miles, dropped it off at a door, and I was done. And as soon as I got back in my car, I had another order, but this one was 13 miles away, so I declined it. But now I'm just sitting here waiting for the next order. So let's see what comes. Okay, I've got another order. It came to me as I was driving to the hotspot. So this is a unique one. It's 2 orders. I'm going to a taco place to get some tacos for somebody, and then a poke place to get some poke. So I guess I'm delivering 2 orders to the same place. Kind of unique. We'll give it a try. Order numero dos. Did I mention that I drive a full-size pickup truck? I know. I'm an idiot. Probably wouldn't drive this type of vehicle if this was my go-to side hustle, delivering, but I'll be really paying attention to gas mileage and miles driven during this test. All right, quick update on the last delivery. It was actually orders from 2 different restaurants that went to 2 different people that were located fairly close, but let me tell you, this really is a side hustle stress test. I'm kind of sweating. I was worried that I was gonna take too long or the food's gonna get cold, but I did earn $10 from that double order situation, and now I'm at $19 for this dash, and I've been doing it for about, I don't know, hour and 20 minutes. But did I mention that I drive a truck and gas is like $3.60 right now a gallon? That's kind of on my mind a little bit too. Let's keep dashing. Just took a little break. I figured I'd get out of the car. It's a beautiful day out here, stretch my legs. But you know, of course, as soon as I get out of the car, I get another offer. So this one is for $6.50. I think I have to go like 7 miles, but I'll take it. We're testing it. I think I like the flexibility of a side hustle like this, being out and about. It's probably what draws a lot of people to this sort of work. Smoothie order picked up, check. Off a few miles down the road to deliver it for $6.50. So adding to my total, I've been doing this for a couple hours now. I feel like I gotta give side hustlers some credit. This is a bit of a grind. It's go, 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 and it's a lot of gas. Did I mention I'm worried about that? So that last dash took me kind of out in the sticks of my town. So I have ended up pretty far away from all the action where the food is. So I'm gonna drive back towards the busier part of town, see if I can get anything more. But I'm not too hopeful at this point. We'll see. So just as I head from the sticks to the busy area, ding, 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 I hear the Dasher app. I got another order. This one is for $5.50. I'm gonna go ahead and get it. I'll tell you, all the dashing around will make a guy hungry. A couple hours on the road, so I figured I'd come to one of the establishments that I've been picking food up from today. Call that $10 though, off my earnings. Guys gotta eat though. Still a beautiful day out here. My dash shift is almost over. At 2:30 it'll be, but I'm gonna make one last ditch dash effort to get another order in and see if I can make a little bit more money. All right, hey, sticking around paid off. I have one last delivery I just got worth $10.25. I have to deliver a food order a little bit away, but it'll be the end for me, and I will follow up with some sort of initial thoughts of the day when I get done. So I just got back home. My first day as a dasher for DoorDash is done, and I'm a little worn out and not a whole lot richer. Let me give you the quick stats. So I drove around for about 3.5 hours today. Technically, I was active in the DoorDash app for a little over 2 hours, but I drove around for 3.5 hours. I drove 40 miles and I made a whopping $41.25 on 6 deliveries. So is it worth it? I don't know yet. I got to put my thoughts together and give you some considerations in case you're thinking about doing DoorDash as your side hustle. So I decided I needed a redo after kind of an iffy day yesterday, and I want to apply some learnings today. And one of them is to be in the area where it's pink on the map before you start. So I posted up at the action area here. The other thing I've learned is DoorDash gives you the option to either earn by time or per offer. By time, in my area right now, is $16.75 an hour, which is kind of close to minimum wage, if I'm not mistaken. But per offer, it's like rolling the dice, and that's kind of what I want to do. Just like that, I'm on the board with an $8.25 delivery. It'll be my pleasure to go in and get this order. There it is. All right, so the first delivery of the day was done. That was $8.25. I'm gonna head back to the hotspot to see if I can get $16.75 worth in an hour so I can beat the earn by time situation. We'll see. Well, would you look at that? Right after I delivered the order that earned me $8.25, I just got another order for $8.75 that I'll be paid. I'm delivering a coffee 8.5 miles away, but $8.25 plus $8.75, that beats the $16.75 an hour if I would have selected earn by time. Quick update, it was multiple coffees. Here's hoping that none of them spill in my truck. Would you listen to that? One last order, and I just happened to be pulling into the parking lot. Burrito run. All right, so that was a rather quick dash, an hour and a half. Over the lunch hour, I drove about 20 miles and I made $21.50. And if you're doing the math, yes, that is less than the $16.75 I would have made if I would have gotten paid by time. That would have been plus tips. So there might be merit to that method. I'll do a little bit of reflecting. I'll come back with some thoughts about whether this is truly worth it. And if it is, who might it be for? All right, the test dashes are done. And no, I will not quit my day job, but I'm not gonna knock this side hustle option either. So I ended up doing 3 separate dashes, which totaled about 6.5 hours of work. Here's a breakdown of what I made. So I earned $86 on 11 total deliveries. I put 90 miles on my pickup truck. I averaged 17 miles per gallon. Gas was going for around $3.60 at the time I was driving. So do the math, I racked up $19 in fuel expenses. You take that from $86, it's more like $67 or $10.31 an hour. Modest earnings aside, I get why people do this. It's a flexible way to make real side money. And if you're thinking about doing it, here are 6 things I took away from the experience. Number 1, it's accessible and easy to get started. So the process was really simple. So for me and for everyone, I downloaded the Dasher app, followed the prompts to provide some personal information, enter my vehicle details, and then scan my driver's license and do a scan of my face as well, and submit to a background check. And to my surprise, I was approved in minutes. Now, DoorDash says the background check can take an hour, a day, or up to a week, but I was approved in minutes. I had never landed a job so fast, no interview needed. So if you're thinking about doing this, but worried about the process and how long it might take, I would say don't be. The number 2 takeaway, location is a significant factor when it comes to DoorDash. So the DoorDash peak times are lunchtime and dinner time. So my town, I think I mentioned, I live in a distant suburb of Baltimore, and it was never really slammed, but it was usually busy enough to go out around lunchtime. But I noticed if I went closer to Baltimore, where there's more restaurants and more people, it was always busier. And I think I probably could have made more money if I'd done that, but I didn't really want to inconvenience myself. So location, significant factor. Number 3, the cost of driving will cut down your earnings. So this is pretty obvious, but to me, this is the rub. I mean, you're driving your own vehicle, you're paying for the gas, and if you're like me, you're concerned about wear and tear in your vehicle as you make these tiny, small trips. Now, I was absolutely miserable driving my full-size pickup truck. I was watching the MPG just go down, and I would say that having a economical, compact car would absolutely make for a better experience. And in some markets, you can even deliver on a scooter, a bike, or a motorcycle, which would be really cool. Number 4, customer tips made up more of my pay than I expected. So DoorDash Pay works like this. It's base pay plus customer tips plus any promotions. And a promotion could be something called peak pay, where you can earn extra for each order if it's really busy out right now. Now, base pay
is gauged on desirability of the order. So if it's a longer traveling distance or it's going to take a longer time, you're going to get more base pay. One example where I got pretty solid base pay was I delivered auto parts from one Napa store to another Napa store that was like 15 or 16 miles away, but I earned straight up $18 of base pay on that order. Now, compare that to a more typical order where I did a McDonald's run right around town and I earned $5.25, and that was $2.25 of base pay plus $3 of tips. But I was surprised to find that 50% of the $86 I made came from tips. I learned this after I looked back and added it all up. But I tell you, when I knew I was working for tips, it motivated me to be timely, to be careful with the orders, and to be pleasant, especially if I had to hand an order directly to a customer. Number 5, gig workers are independent contractors, and that means DoorDash does not withhold taxes. DoorDash does send a 1099 NEC form that those who make $600 or more in a year can use to file taxes. But you also want to think about self-employment deductions, and the most important deduction is deducting your miles. Number 6, and the last point, flexibility is the name of the game. So DoorDash, we know, is a flexible side hustle, but I'm talking about you. You need to be flexible. I think if I was more willing to inconvenience myself, I think I could have made more money. Now think about it. So the peak times to go out driving and delivering are the times that you're probably having you time. So breakfast, lunch, dinner. For example, one Sunday night after I had signed up to be a Dasher, I got a notification from the app saying it was unusually busy right now. And if you go out, I could earn some peak pay. There would be lots of orders. It was like 7 p.m. on a Sunday evening. And I thought to myself, nah, I'm not feeling it. I'm sitting at the table thinking about what we're going to eat. I've got kids to bathe later, and I got my day job to think about. So that's kind of my point. I think like with anything, you got to be willing to sacrifice something to do well. And with a side gig like DoorDash, it's probably going to be your free time. So the big question is this side hustle worth it? And I say, don't expect to get rich, but do expect to make some side money if you sign up and do this. And I'm not going to argue with that. And I may even keep doing this on the side myself. I'm Tommy Tindall, personal finance writer with NerdWallet, and if you want to see more videos like this where we actually test a real side hustle, let us know in the comments. While you're there, tap the like button and subscribe to the channel.